thing. Goodness gracious, it feels good to ride. So I made some additional security precautions because of my push button startup motor. And mainly that is I have a disc lock. I've never used a disc lock before. But I think it's actually going to be a little safer than the fork lock I was using. Simply because the fork lock was kind of busted, so you could have easily just like snapped it and just rolled the bike anywhere you wanted to roll it. So this way you can't roll it and steal it. You'll have to steal my motorcycle by lifting it up into the back of a truck, which is not hard to do for a lot of people. But if you're going to go through the trouble to steal my motorcycle, well, I get it. I understand. Sometimes you want to ride a motorcycle. Sometimes you want to steal somebody else's motorcycle. If you're one of those people, then, well, you're a real piece of crap. That's just wrong, man. Go rob a bank. Go, I don't know. Go steal a bunch of crap from Neiman Marcus or somebody. Don't steal somebody's motorcycle, guys. It's wrong. Don't steal people's motorcycles. Don't steal people's bicycles. This is like... It's like you're taking somebody's joy away on purpose. Like, how can you condone stealing somebody's joy? How could you be that kind of person? If you're the kind of guy watching this and saying, I want to steal motorcycles, or I just have to do it to live, well then, fuck you. There's better ways to do it, man. Go rob an armored truck if you're really that hard up. Or better yet, get a job. I know it's not that easy. I know. Sometimes you get screwed over by life. Sometimes you get dealt a bad hand. You know? I get it. Working, you know, what is it, 11 hours, $15 an hour job. That's not cool. You gotta make that grind. I get it. Don't steal somebody's motorcycle. Don't steal somebody's bicycle or car. Don't steal vehicles. Just don't rob regular people. How about that? Rob corporations who have insurance money and I don't know. Who am I? Just don't rob people. Don't rob anybody. I guess that's the moral of the story. Thievery is okay, but if you have to steal to live, don't steal from regular people. That's the moral of the story. Anyway, I think we played around in the gray areas enough. Oh man, I was so disappointed when that stupid key snapped up in my ignition. Because that really is like, oh, such a bummer, man. I've been taking the bus every day. And the bus isn't the worst in the world, it's just like, it's just not fun. I guess I did catch up on a bunch of podcasts and whatnot, so that was kind of cool. But it's not something that I was like excited to do. Joe Rogan had some good guests on, and I started listening to this podcast, Two Bears, One Cave, which is pretty hilarious, with Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. So I was enjoying that, and then Revisionist History with Malcolm Gladwell, which is actually really good. I'm a fan of that. The last time I listened to it, he didn't have any like advertisements on in the beginning. So when he started, it sounded so like sincere and like official. Him trying to sell like CBD oil or whatever, like some kind of internet service. Oh, I was like, oh, this is wrong, Malcolm Gladwell. Like the other guy's just screwing around like the comics. Like, yeah, okay, I get it. Just selling a bunch of crap. Maybe sell a mattress. Malcolm Gladwell, man, you seem so like official and like serious about your work. And when I hear like an advertisement from you, it just seems like too real. It seems like something I should definitely be doing. Anyway, Revisionist History had this cool segment on memory, which I enjoyed. So it talked about I'm the worst with like names. Somebody, last name is Adler, and he was this like harmonica player, and it was kind of examining like his memories versus this other guy's memories, and like how they can become intertwined or get mixed up as the stories are retold throughout the years. And then the second episode, linked to memory, because it was like a back-to-back thing, was about Brian Williams and how he kind of got screwed over. So it was exploring this idea of like flashbulb memories. So I guess they did the study about flashbulb memories, and that's when something like substantial happens in the news, like a tragedy. So like they were using 9/11 as an example, and there was this this study that examined like what people remember about 9/11, like where they were, who they were with, what did they do that day. And people swear that their recollection of the events is like, this is 100% what happened. I know this happened, absolutely. And so the people did a study like a year later, or like the day of the event, or you know, a couple weeks later after the event, they did a written like story of like, this is what I did in their own handwriting, wrote down their like day and answered like 4 or 5 questions. And then a year later, they did it again, answered the same exact questions, and then 10 years later they did the same thing, and they found that people's stories are mixed up. So people believe with 100% certainty that they were washing dishes while listening, or I guess washing dishes while like watching the TV about 9/11 and then happened. And then some other people, you know, and so that same person a year later might say they were in the laundry room watching TV when they heard about 9/11. And so people get a little bit mixed up about their stories. They blend stories together, and anyway, the whole point is that memory is fallible. And because of that, sometimes people believe something's true and they're 100% certain about it, when in reality that it's kind of mixed up in your head. And so this idea of like Brian Williams lying about being in the helicopter that was shot at, they kind of examine how he could have potentially thought that was actual reality instead of just like blatantly lying about it. So yeah, anyway, I thought it was interesting. I'm like rambling. This is not a podcast. If you wanna hear the real thing, check out Revisionist History by Malcolm Gladwell, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It was good though. I liked it. Now back to work. I'm a couple weeks in now. It's hard to make that adjustment from summertime to like having to wake up early every day. It's like I would wake up around like between 9 and 10, I guess, every day during the summer. And now I'm waking up at like 5:30. So much harder. Wake up when it's still dark out. I hate that. Also, like feeling like the things that like I had to do in the summer were like, oh, I had the whole day to do these things, and I had all this freedom to screw around. And now like my time is like substantially like limited, but I still have to find the time to do things. Also, I've added like new things to my routine. So like I started going to the gym. I started lifting weights recently. This traffic is awful this morning, by the way. But I started going to the gym, started lifting weights recently, started doing a little cardio, started playing racquetball. I've been doing this for maybe like 2 weeks now, in combination with intermittent fasting. So I stop eating around 8 p.m. It's like between 7 and 8, and then I won't eat again until noon. So last night I was really bad. I cheated. I'm a cheater, guys. I was working on my bike. I was fixing this thing, and I was drinking a beer. And then I had to like babysit my buddy's kid, so I put her to bed, and I didn't finish the beer. So when I put her to sleep, he got back from what he was doing, and then I finished the beer. I know it's terrible, but you know, so I actually stopped consuming stuff around like 10. So today's kind of screwed for me. I'm still not going to eat until noon, but the intermittent fasting technically doesn't really count today. But I'm doing it anyway. I'm going to stick to not eating until noon anyway. It's weird because I find that like I'm super hungry sometimes at night. I'm really hungry, I'm like thirsty, I really want to drink like a beer. Oh, the sun is ugly. But then I find like, I guess my hack is like I'll brush my teeth. And then once I brush my teeth, I kind of like tell myself, all right, like that's it. The only thing I'll have now is like water. And it's been super helpful. And then during the day, like in the morning, I'll have black coffee. And I'll drink like a bunch of water throughout the day. And that'll help curb my appetite. So the coffee in combination with the water like curbs it a little bit. And then around noon, I'll eat. And I find that like kind of in the morning around like 8, maybe 9, I'm starting to get really hungry. But then by 11, like the hunger really subsides. It's kind of odd. Like I could just like keep going with the fast. But then I break it because, you know, I have a delicious whatever. Oh, also I've been packing salads because I'm nice like that. So before I got into this, I weighed about 225 because I'm a super fatty. Like the belly's getting out of control. I don't know if you guys are like this, but my belt has a giant smiley face. If I would like take it out of my pants and just look at it, there's this huge like dip from my belly just like hanging. I got a hanging belly, ladies and gentlemen. It's awful. And it's like, you know, I know this is something that took years to make. I was pretty fit maybe around like 2011. That's relatively muscular. I didn't really have a lot of body fat. I think I maybe had like 9 or 10%. And now, and I was like, so what was I? I was like, I think I was like 175, 185. And I was fit. And now I'm like 225 and I'm a fat bastard. So I'm gonna say, I'll keep you posted on updates. I haven't weighed myself in 2 weeks, so I'm curious to see where I'm at. If there's been any kind of change with this intermittent fasting and going to the gym at least 3 times a week. I will let you know. Also, the gym's pretty sweet. The one I'm going to is in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. And it's cool because they have like a really nice like weight facility, and that's my favorite thing to do. It's lift. But they also have like cool cardio equipment, which I never really use. They have an indoor soccer court, so I'll like run around and I'll kick a soccer ball. I'm god awful at soccer, so I'm like terrified to join anybody's game. And they have racquetball courts, so I'll play racquetball with my buddies. Just got a racquetball racket the other day. And then the creme de la creme is they have a pool with 2 hot tubs, a steam room, and a sauna. So at the end of all this like exertion, I've been doing the weights pretty hard, and since I'm so like out of shape, like even like racquetball for like a match, I'm totally exhausted. So yeah, then I'll hit up the pool, the hot tubs, and the steam room, and it's just like a nice way to unwind at the end of the day. That's normally when I go. I put my kid down, or my wife puts my kid down after dinner, and then I'll go to the gym around 7. So anyway, if anybody interested in my life and my routines, it's pretty much what I've been doing. Exciting stuff. Oof. I'm glad I left at like 6:45. This is pretty ugly, this traffic. Yeah, I was excited to get back and get on the bike and like give you a ton of vlogs and updates and, you know, let's get back on the game. And then this stupid key snapped off, and like, you know how it is. Like I said, like, life has been busy. I've been working late, so I get home around like 6:30, have dinner with the kids, and then I go to the gym. And yeah, it's been tough. I haven't had time to fix it, so I'm glad I got to it last night. And there'll be a how-to video, probably released at this point, but because I'm working on it. I started editing last night as soon as I was done. So I got this how-to video in the pipes. And now this. So yeah, life is good. It'll be so nice when all this construction is done. I think it's like another, maybe like 2 years away. Looking forward to that. I wonder how the commute in the morning is going to be then. This poor little girl, man, she's missing. I hope they find her. Oof. It's like my worst nightmare. If somebody were to kidnap my kid, I don't know what the hell I would do. I would freak out. Oh, or like abduct. Because you know it's some sick fuck. It's like, oh, doing all the fucking wrong things to your kid. Like, ruining them forever. Oh, I hope they catch the motherfucker and execute him. Fucking cut his dick off. Piece of shit. That's like the worst thing in the world. Child molesters, man. I'd rather you be a sick murderer than molest kids. Because at least the person's dead when you're done with them, instead of having to live the rest of their life as like, oh, it's awful. What a bunch of sickos, man. Please let them catch this dude. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to get all, like, serious on you. I just saw that little Amber Alert billboard and it just makes me sick. Especially with daughters, man. It makes you think about it way more. Like, obviously, it's awful. Once you have like a daughter, you just like, or even like a kid, you just think about it differently. Oh my god, it's so terrifying. Having a kid is terrifying. Oh, speaking about terrifying, life is getting complicated right now, ladies and gentlemen. Are you just watching this because you care about motorcycles and you're like, dude, why are you talking about this? I don't care about any of this. I just want to see you ride your bike. Well, I get it. I'll post up more videos of me just riding, but I got a lot on my mind, ladies and gentlemen, and this is how I get it off. So anyway, the wifey has got like baby fever right now. She like 100% wants another kid, and I just like, I don't want it anymore. I just am done. I didn't realize that being a dad would be so hard, and like having one kid is so challenging. I just like, I don't know. I really don't want another kid at all, like 0%. Even if it was like guaranteed to be like a boy, a healthy boy, and I'd have an awesome son, like, oh, so hard. And those of you that got kids right now, like, you're like, ah, whatever, dude, you just gotta suck it up and deal with it. Like, I totally get it. Those of you without kids, you just like, there's no way you can understand. So anyway, yeah, man, I don't know what to do. My wife is super unhappy, and like everybody around us is getting preggo. She's got like 10 friends that are pregnant right now with their like second kid, and she's super upset. Cries about it a lot, and I just don't want another kid. I just would like, life is already super hard and like stressful. There's not time for things. Like, and I still want to be able to live my life. I want to be able to go to the gym. I want to be able to like hang out with my buddies. I want to be able to ride my bike and do like moto camping trips. And all that stuff is hard to do as it is. Like, with another kid, it's going to feel like almost impossible. And it will be impossible for like a couple more years, at least. The kid's got to be older before I can like just dip for the weekend, because it's already hard enough with my wife. Ugh, I just don't know. And I know I'm probably being like a selfish prick, but I guess that just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta think about me too, right? I'm not trying to be like the worst piece of crap in the world. Like, that's not... Oh, and I know I'm like controlling like a piece of my wife's life that obviously she feels like super passionate about. I just don't know what to do. What do you guys think? Am I being just a piece of crap? Everybody I talk to says that the transition to 2 kids is just super hard. It's like way harder than just 1 kid. It's like not just like 50-50, like, oh, it's just like multiplied by, you know, 2 and then it's harder. They say it's like exponentially harder. And I'm just like, I don't want it at all. She wants it 100%, so what the hell? What do we do? Do I just play like cream pie roulette? I give her like 1 random cream pie a month? See what happens? All it took was like a little accident the first time, and my stuff, I got strong swimmers, guys. Let's say that. Anyway, I know I'm oversharing. I know you probably don't, I don't know. Maybe you don't want to hear about any of this stuff. But I figure if I have the venue to talk about it, why not talk about it? So what do you think? If you've made it this far into my vlog of all the things going on in my life, should I stick to my guns, not have another kid? I feel like you should be like all in on a kid. You should be like, fuck yeah, I want a kid. Or do I ignore my feelings that are saying, no, don't do it, I really don't want it, just to make my wife happy? Throw out what you think is best. What do you think? To cream pie or not to cream pie? Oh, just even thinking about it is stressful. So I'm taking a huge toll on my life, guys. Go home and it's just upsetting. It's like there's no relief anywhere except for the gym, except for stupid racquetball 3 times a week and lifting weights. Oh, goodness gracious. The city is beautiful. That's another thing. I'm in like, I love having a house. I think it's awesome to have the space, but I've been like daydreaming about moving back to the city. Let me unload some more on you fellas. But yeah, I've been daydreaming about moving back to Brooklyn, just to have like a super easy commute. Right now it's like I left my house at what, 7 or 6:45, and I'm not even in the city yet. Traffic is awful. It's just grinding. It's tough to split when it's really like cramped like this, so I'm not really doing that. Plus, like, I don't know, just not in the mood today. I can move to the city in Park Slope, in Brooklyn and Park Slope, and then just have like a 15-minute walk to work. Could be nice. Not a ton of space, but the city's your playground, right? If you're a kid, you got all the parks, got the cool museums, you know? Everything is, you got access to all the things. The city is awesome. There's so much fun stuff to do in the city. As a grown up and as a kid. So I don't know, man. I brought it up to the wife and that made her upset too, because she didn't really want to come to Jersey anyway. Oh man, so much going on. Why am I telling you this? What else is there to do, I guess, is the answer. Anyway, all the things going on. All of the things. It's nice to get out here on the bike though, man. This is awesome. Even this, just sitting in this line to go through the tunnel. I'll take it. Alright, I think that's enough torturing you. This is Right Thing Motos. Thanks so much for watching. You have a wonderful, wonderful day.